Welcome to BB's Back to Basics. I set the camera up so you can see the table, so you don't get to see me very well, but that's okay. I'm going to do a tutorial today on a wreath, a Deco mesh wreath. I learned in December watching on YouTube from Laura Jean. You can find her, Laura Jean's Wreath Room, and she just makes beautiful wreaths. I've been making wreaths for many years. It's down here. Oh, let's see. Okay, no, that's good where it was. For many years, but never the Deco mesh, and I really enjoy it. So if I bring it, I want to bring it closer, but it won't go close enough. I'm hoping you guys can see this. And this is showing up backwards, isn't it? Actually, I don't think I'm recording. I guess, well, no, something's wrong. Let me pause. Okay, it is. This is so weird. Oh, my phone is crazy. It just like gave me no time. All right, we're back on. Let's do this. See if I bring it. If I bring it closer, it doesn't. And I can only. You know what? Let me hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. I want to see if I can bring it down. Okay. All right. So I'm taking a lot of time. I'm just setting up. I thought I had it set up. I apologize. But okay. I think this will be good. All right, welcome back. All right, so it is backwards. I don't know what causes that. I don't know how to stop it. But it says, welcome. I don't like when that happens. So anyway, I'm making a bee-inspired wreath. This is the sign. This is the mesh I will be using. It's Deco poly mesh, 21 inches wide, and it's 10 yards long. Then I also will be using this mesh. This is the 10-inch in the bright yellow and black. It's a poly burlap check mesh. This is like really thicker, so I'll be using this in it. And I cut out a bunch of pieces so you don't have to watch me do that. Okay. I'm using an 18-inch wreath frame I got from Walmart, and I tied on 18 pipe cleaners. So there's 10 on the outer 2 rings, right? And then I attached 8 on the inner 2 rings. And to start with, you just tie one on, and you basically just twist it on, put it on, and then you lay it over, and where that part lays, you put your next, and it equals out to 10. Now the inner are 8 pipe cleaners, and these you get a pack of 25. I got these ones at Walmart. pack of 25. And I used 18. For the ribbons, I'm using, let's see here, get them all. I'll be using these. So there's the bumblebee, the polka dot, plaid, and flowers. And I may be adding, I think I might be adding this bow to it as well, made out of the same ribbon. I think I did add an extra one, this chevron, black and white. So this was a lot of fun. I made this on the Bodabra, and I can do another video using the Bodabra if anybody's interested. We won't have time in this one to show you that, because I don't know how long this video is going to play for me. I have a lot of trouble with my phone just shutting off on me often. Okay, so I might be using that, and I might be adding, these are little tin, like bumblebees. I might attach that. You know, I should have grabbed like a couple of these, but they didn't have a couple. And I was going to go back to see if they got more or whatever, but this is from the dollar store. So, both meshes came from Craft Outlet, ordered online. And all the ribbon that I cut out, I went ahead and we'll explain more to you on the ribbon when we get to the ribbon. All came from Craft Outlet as well as the welcome sign. So let's get started here. I'm going to start with the 21-inch black Deco mesh, 21 inches wide, and this is 10 yards long. And I'm going to be doing this, what we call poofs. And mine are going to be 10-inch poofs. A lot of people, and I've made a few with 12-inch poofs, but I'd like to maybe get 2 wreaths out of this. So if I go 10-inch poofs, which I think, I mean, you basically, this is your base, and you just want to cover the frame. You don't want to see the wire frame, you know, when you're complete. So I'm going to do this in 10-inch poofs. Now, to get started, your basic tools that you really need, number one for me is scissors. Just some good fabric scissors, you know, for cutting your ribbon, and I cut my mesh with it when I need to. Now, what would be ideal is to have a cutting mat, a self-healing one where you have a rotary cutter where you can cut right on it. Now, this is just a foam cardboard that I had to put puzzles together on, and it happened to fit my coffee table, right at my coffee table. And this was 24 inches wide by 36 long, and it fits all my coffee table except for a foot over here. And it works fine for me until I decide to maybe get a cutting mat that you can actually cut on. Because if I tried to cut on this with a rotary cutter, it would splice and damage my measuring device. So first and foremost to me would be scissors, and then, like I said, I always have a measuring tape on hand. I use this all the time for many things. It's always sitting out, so you want to be able to measure. And also you would want some wire cutters for like cutting your wire to put on your signs and stuff like that. You don't want to use your good scissors, especially your fabric scissors, for anything but fabric, or you'll ruin them. You'll bang them, you know, ruin them. So wire cutters, scissors, a measuring device, as far as your tools go, is the first three things I would suggest you having to make a wreath. So the wreath forms come in many sizes. Like I said, this is an 18-inch. Here's a 12-inch. And what we are going to be creating is a wreath. So we'll go from that to this. And so this, you know, I did measure it and I wrote it down, but this is what basically we will be creating. Now, that's big, but it fits on the door nice, and I really like, I like nice big wreaths. And now I gotta reposition this. Okay. Alright, so I think you can see this good. Then there, like I said, there's this size, you know, no, this is 14 inch. Did I say 12? 14. This is 18, and it's measured from crosswise. So compared to the big one I just showed you, this is a rag wreath, and this is using the 14-inch wired wreath frame. And okay, so we better get on with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my 21-inch mesh roll right down on the floor. And I'm going to gather like so. So also for this, what I'm going to do is use some cable ties, zip strips, or what else, I don't know what else you call it. So I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to tie this down right in front of my first, wherever I decide to start, which is like right here, and I'm going to fasten it and secure it to the outer two rings right in front of my first pipe cleaner, just to hold it more securely in place for the start. Nice and tight. And this is where I will use my wire cutters. You know what? A piece slipped out. So I'm going to cut that off and do it again. Of course a piece slipped out. This is my first ever on YouTube video putting a wreath together. Alright, so I want to make sure I gather enough of it so that it's all, the whole edge. And this stuff frays very easily. And this is your cheaper mesh. I think it's like $3, 3 something a roll, where it's just your basic mesh. So anyway, get another zip tie and make sure I get it all in there just before the tie. I'm going to call these pipe cleaners ties. Alright, so let's fasten it. Got it all in there this time. And again, I don't want to like ruin my scissors on cutting this plasticky zip tie. And I'm going to cut that down. trays that are on here out of my way. And throw it in the garbage. Alright, so what we do is we gather. This is where my measuring mat comes in handy. I'm going to do 10-inch poofs, so I'm just going to slide down, find my 10-inch. I'm going to poof it up. Now I'm going to skip this first tie, this pipe cleaner here, right where I fastened the initial fastening. I'm not going to tie this down. When I go around, then I'll use it to tie that off. So I go to the next tie here, and I just fasten it. And I'm just going to twist it twice, okay? And I'm going to do that all the way around. And I'm going to puff this out as I go. And that's called a poof. And it's a 10-inch. So then I just gather this, keep your sides out, do your gathering, measure your 10 inches. Oh, I'm catching, see, your mesh will catch on every other fabrics, and it's catching on my, Alright, I'm going to try to keep my mesh under control over here. And go to my next, making noise, scratchy. So it's like a plasticky mesh, basically. I'm going to go to my outer, next tie, pipe cleaner, and fasten it. So I'm just going to once or twice, a good thing, and then I'm going to poof this out. I'm going to do that all the way around, as I said. This one came untied. Just give it a quick tie. Put it down. Fasten it. And poof it out. Everybody who knows me with my YouTube channel knows I don't know how to edit. So I don't know if I can even fast forward this. If I can, I will. So when you're watching this, and you might be able to fast forward before I upload this. And if you're not interested in making a wreath, but you're just watching my channel, just to see how it turns out, you can always fast forward, right? Alright, so I'll do that. Tie that down, come over, get my 10-inch measurement, go to the next tie, pipe cleaner, set it down in there, all pinched up, set it in there, and twist it once or twice. So we're going to be building layers on this. And poof this out. And go to the next. Grab it. Find your 10-inch. Place it down. And attach. Tie it on. Okay. Next one. Just gathering it. Find my 10-inch mark. So these will slide a little bit. Like I noticed one one of the ties that I tied on slid, which is okay. I just slide it over so that these stay separated to continuous, same amount, the size, poofs. And poof it out, poof the poofs. Okay. Gather it. You want to keep your sides, you know, side here and this side out so that it poofs out nicely for you. And then tie it down. Once, twice. Next, try to speed this up. They have mesh rollers. It's called the Ultimate Mesh Roller. A woman named Susie designed it, and it holds rolls of mesh or ribbons, or I'll look up a link to it. Well, if I can, but if anybody, most people, I'm going to upload or I'm going to share this with my Laura Jean's Wreath Room group so they can watch the creation of the bee wreath. Let's see. Sometimes it will do its own little thing, and you want to keep it kind of consistent and even with what it's doing. So anyway, Susie's mesh roller. It's just wooden device that she made for help and aid of rolling out your mesh. And it's like, I think, $79, and I'm not ready to spend $79. I mean, it's a good deal, but I could get materials too, you know, enough to make 2 different wreaths for that. So I will wait. Or I was thinking about making my own. Do that too. Okay, so now we're at the last one here. And I'm gonna do my 10-inch measure, and I'm gonna go to that tie that would be under this first poof that we started, and attach it along with where the zip tie is. I'm gonna tie it in using the pipe cleaners. Okay, so this outer row rim poof is done. So now when we come up, we're going to go up to the nearest pipe cleaner that's in the inner rows. And we're going to do the 8 inside. But first, I am going to, instead of making a poof and going to my tie, it has a tendency to like fall and make your wreath lopsided. I don't want that, so I'm going to get another zip tie. Get it uncaught from the poofs below. I'm going to get another zip tie and fasten it to the 2 bars in front of my next tie, and it will hold it in place better. And so that's all I'm doing is zip tying for my I want to zip tie it backwards. It don't work that way. All right, turn around. There. Okay. Nice and tight. And cut this excess off. Right down. So I'm going to go through this. And just checking everything out. It's like, so I'm going to save this where I tied it down. So when I come around and end, I'll end just in front of this pipe cleaner, and I'll tie the last poof down. So I'm going to do my 10 inches. You know what? I'm right at this point, I'm going to guess for the inner that that's close to 10 inches. Tie it into the pipe cleaner. Tie it in. And I'm going to eye it. I'm going to eye my 10 inches and work around. Go to my next one in the inner. And there's no such thing as perfection when it comes to creating, guys. Only one that can do perfection is God Almighty. So it's about 10 inches. Now, I find that the pipe cleaners, like, this is moving, you know. And I tie it on the inner two and the outer two rails pretty tight, but they have tendency to slide. Just slide it back where you want it. You can get the wreath forms that already have ties attached. Come with 18 ties. They're bigger and fuller ties, and that's what a lot of the girls, that, you know, people, guys, use to make their mesh wreaths. I have not used one yet. I think these are just fine for me. So get another poof, about 10 inches. Go to the next tie. This is really simple. If I might make it look complicated, but it's probably because of my pickiness sometimes, or like I said, I am new to make, you know, working with poly mesh. I've done like grapevines and okay, this one. Now, this might look a little bit ugly. It is hiding the wire, but when you get your other mesh in and your ribbon ties, they become beautiful. And you know, nothing says anything better. There's nothing better on your door where everybody enters is to greet them with a welcome, you know. And you can do that with a wreath. Tie this down. We got 4 more to go. once you get this all together, you know, laid down, the less you mess with mesh, the better. And this isn't fraying yet because it doesn't have, you know, the frayed edges, but it does have a little, you know, like little knobbies that catch onto the mesh itself, and it might snag and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty cool stuff. Alright, we got 2 more. Let's see, it's about there. Tie this down.